This video just kind of jumps in, so I wanted to talk about a little bit of a forward to it. This picks up where the other parts of the video left off. I'll put cards for the first 3 videos, so you can check those out if you haven't seen those. Try to keep those videos short. What I did was about halfway through the video, you'll see an eBay screenshot. And at that point in the video, I was talking about how sellers generally do the least amount of effort in their listings. What I did was I went and I just typed in 2022 Bowman Mojo. First listing that popped up, this is 7 a.m. Pacific time on January 14th. Feel free to check it. It's a Khalil Watson, 2 Bowman Mojo cards. Clicked on it, screenshotted the description right there for you all, and that's what I'm talking about. And yes, Alessandra, this is how you know it's a random car vlog video. Rocking some ghetto sweater. So a funny thing happened though when I was editing the video. A gentleman actually contacted me about a card that I had pulled from a recent box break. I have to edit that video, so that'll be up maybe a week after this. He was asking for a description of the card. I have a whole paragraph devoted to the description, and there's also 12 photos in that listing. So obviously I knew he didn't fully read the description or look at the photos, and I figured he was probably just buzzing through listings, trying to go through as many as possible in the least amount of time. So I wrote him back, told him, yeah, you know, yada yada yada, check the description out, I listed everything you need to know, check all of the photos. And basically we had a little correspondence. I was telling him, check everything out, and if you don't buy my card, at least make sure that the card you do buy has as much information as mine. I know that's kind of hard to achieve, so gotta toot my own horn in terms of the work I put into higher end listings. But we did have a dialogue, and it turns out he has a YouTube channel as well, Ham House Sports. So check his channel out. He's actually got more subs than me. He does card openings with his son. Checked a few of those out. John MP, Mountain Family Cards, does the same kind of thing. So those videos may be a little something that's up your guys' alley in terms of listings. So you see, throughout this project, coincidences happen, come across new hobby friends, YouTube peeps. So check his channel out if you're into that kind of content.
Here we go.
I've had individuals contact me after doing that, acting like I'm the problem. They say, oh, it's only a $10 item. It's only a $20 item. People hit me up on Instagram. People hit me up in my messages in eBay. Oh, you should have known what you were getting into. How can you expect every card to be gem mint? Well, obviously you don't expect every card to be gem mint. You know, I've actually had individuals tell me, the card's such low dollar value. Why even file a return? Why file a complaint? And my response to them is always, and they hate on me in the beginning, but once I lay it out like this, they get it. I always say, why would I buy anything from anyone if it doesn't have a chance to grade? If that's my intention. What my intention is shouldn't matter. You don't know whether it's a PC card, something from my childhood, or something somebody wants to grade to keep or grade to flip. The point is, if you don't list the damage or an accurate description in your listing, then what are you doing? You're trying to deceive people, right? So I often wonder how many people out there at home, they just don't use the tools available. Sellers get away with doing this stuff. In my opinion would be that's why they keep doing it. I'm not that way. That's what I talked about when I replied to these individuals. I don't get hostile with individuals. I'm just like, why would I buy anything that's damaged? It doesn't matter if it's $1, 25 cents, $3, 5, 10, doesn't matter. If there's no accurate description, then I'm thinking I'm getting a card that's at least mint, and no one says it has to be gem. If you don't list the damage on the card, and I get the card in the mail and it's damaged, why am I supposed to sit there and accept that as reality, as something I'm just supposed to pay for? I feel like this kind of mentality is out there in the hobby to some degree. You know, I'm not talking about all sellers being like this. Maybe it's only 5% of people. Those are the same kind of individuals, though, you would see defending the crooks in the industry that have been exposed by certain channels. You know the ones.
Yeah.
Dan the Card Man, AIH, Sports Card Radio, all of that good stuff. Extreme Card Breaks. You know those individuals that are out there calling out the shenanigans and the hanky-panky in the hobby.
Hanky-panky all the time. It never stops. 24/7, 365 days a year.
In my opinion, if you aren't accurately listing the thing, I would just say it this way. How do you let something go out your door without properly examining it? You can't just sit here and always use the, oh, I'm too big excuse. Where's your desire to provide customer service? If you're selling me your junk, then you have to tell me you're selling me your junk. And if you sell me your junk and you don't tell me you're selling me your junk, and I initiate a return, and you want to sit there and act like it's my fault, you want to sit there and complain to eBay like I'm the problem? Like I willingly gave you my money in return for your garbage. So something just hit me. The thought of it would be kind of like the yard sale mentality, right? What is a yard sale? It's stuff you're trying to get rid of, right? So maybe a lot of sellers on eBay have that kind of mentality where they can just throw up whatever. And you've seen the listings. I've talked about this with other people in the past where listings are as bare bones as possible. They'll give the card name and number and that's it. They won't say anything about the condition. Why would I think that the condition isn't going to be anything but good? Like I said, it doesn't have to be mint, but it better not be all jacked up and have a bunch of scratches on it, like some of the things I'll flash photos of above. So ultimately, that was the point of this project, was to go ahead and do that. And as I said, I didn't follow up as much as possible with the Better Business Bureau, but something happened recently where a guy sent a card that was damaged. I sent it back to him, and then I saw he had relisted it. It was a numbered card. So he went ahead and just relisted the thing, just didn't give a shit. So I reported the item to eBay. They got my report, Karen style again. The auction was allowed to continue to go on. So somebody's getting a damaged card, congratulations. I'll show the card, I'll show the auction listing. So that situation, it gave me a kick in the butt where I wanted to go ahead and do this project and get it done, get it out there, at least this part. The thing is, I don't consider myself any kind of watchdog. It's just when you see my videos, you know, I come off a little rough around the edges and cynical as all hell. But when stuff like this is going on, and especially with feedback manipulation from my perspective, then I feel like I have to say something and I feel like I want to report my findings to you. I said, maybe this is just specific to me. Maybe I'm special. Name's not Ed, but maybe I'm special. And maybe this is just something where it's a me thing, not a you thing. If this stuff has happened to you, I would encourage you to say something about it as well. I'd encourage you to follow up with the appropriate individuals, eBay, Better Business Bureau, whatever resources you can find, because ultimately getting accurate feedback is what it's all about in the hobby. And if you're selling stuff that's less than mint, I do, but I always indicate it. I've never had a return and I don't want to have a return. I don't want to have situations where buyers don't get what they're expecting. And maybe that's just me. Maybe I give too much of a shit. Maybe I should just throw out whatever trash like a lot of these sellers were doing to me. My feeling is this, and I'll wrap it up here. On the seller side, I want to feel like people aren't intentionally trying to deceive just for a few bucks, but I feel like there's just a great deal of laziness within the hobby in terms of listing things. And if there are people who are intentionally trying to deceive, perhaps they'll try to justify it. So if you're out here trying to Brian Kelly it and your justification is you're trying to provide for, then don't be surprised when you get hit with a lot of negative feedback and a lot of returns. My take on this is a little bit different, obviously, because I'm just out here having fun with this. I'm just opening up packs and boxes and meeting peeps in the Discord, meeting peeps in the YouTube, even if it's just randomly and coincidentally like Ham House Sports. But I'm not some individual with a
9-figure bank account.
And I'm certainly not sitting on
5 acres on a golf course.
Not even 4.2, right, Canaris, Alessandra? But it's all in good fun for me, so maybe that's why my approach is a little bit different in terms of how I buy and sell things, and why I just don't give people shit, and why I don't take people's shit. People's approaches will be different, of course, and if they have that hanky-panky, then perhaps they'll try to justify it in some way.
Yeah.